Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we're going to take a look at the Ripple XRP price chart. Obviously, today's the big day. It's the Spark token airdrop snapshot day. So they're going to be taking a snapshot today to see who holds XRP and then eventually distribute out Spark tokens from Flare's network. We will live stream through that event tonight. So that will happen at midnight, December 12th, UTC time. If you live in the United States, it would be 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll start the stream about 30 minutes prior to that, and we'll let the stream go 30 minutes after. So usually if we're going to see a bunch of volatility for a snapshot, it'll happen in that time frame, right in the 30 minutes leading up and right in the 30 minutes afterwards. So, FOMO buying and then panic selling. So hopefully we don't see any of that. Hopefully we do a live stream and it is boring price action. That is exactly what we would be looking for. I have a lot of people asking me, why is this price not FOMO going euphoric right now leading up into this snapshot? And the thing is, I actually like what the price action is doing. First of all, this is just technical, right? I've shown it on this channel throughout the week. On Wednesday, we talked about it. On Tuesday, Monday, whenever we've been talking about it for like a week or two, is that typically you see a price rise, crash, retrace, and then goes to reaccumulation. So we're back into reaccumulation. And instead of being in this type of moment right here, we're not pricing in FOMO excitement. As a matter of fact, we're pricing in concern. So I like that. If you've watched this channel, you know that I've only made 2 videos relating to Spark. And in my videos, I've done more of an expression of concern rather than an expression of excitement. And there's reasons for that. And I explain that in those videos. And I think what we see here is actually very positive. We see concern getting priced in rather than FOMO excitement. And I think that's how it should be, because there is way too much uncertainty about it. You have no idea what it's worth. If it was worth $10, we would see prices skyrocketing. If it was worth 0.00001 cent, we would see prices really low. So I don't see anything happening here that is pricing in like a $10 Spark. And that's what's exciting to me, because we don't have any idea what it's worth. So I'm happy to see reduced volatility and consolidating prices, and for us to be on the lower end of the boundary rather than on the top end of the boundary where there would be a long ways to fall down. So this is great for me. I like to see the prices near the lower end, and I'm glad we're not pricing in extreme euphoria over an unknown event, an uncertain event. It is uncertain, and we've priced it in. I think that's great. One could also argue it's actually a non-event, and the prices aren't even reflecting it at all, and XRP's price chart just doesn't even care about the Spark snapshot. And I can show you that right here. We look at what has happened with XRP and we can see the rise, the crash, and the retrace, and then now back to reaccumulation. Well, we're seeing that over here on the total altcoin market cap as well. So the whole crypto market, we're just moving in unison with it as well. Something real interesting about the total altcoin market cap with my video that I did on Wednesday was that expecting the prices to get down into this level. And I said, hey, you know what? We've already gotten down in here for this total altcoin market cap. However, Bitcoin hasn't gotten down into that level. So it's a little bit weird to me. My expectations have been that Bitcoin will get down here into the 17,300 level. And then we can see that Bitcoin did not get there, yet it bounced, while the altcoins did get down into that level and bounced. And notice the altcoins are not setting a new low from an entire market perspective, yet Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin is working its way towards that level, which I find exciting. We're getting really close to it. My expectations is that this market will wrap up all of this correcting stuff once we get down into there. So right now, with these prices down in these regions, the altcoin market is very attractive right now. A lot of these altcoins, I think, are priced at really great accumulation prices for me, but that's up to you. As for XRP, it's on the lower end of the boundary, right? How many times have we talked about it? It's right here in the dead middle, right? This is the dead zone, right? It's not attractive, right? Over here, you're on the top end, and down here, you're on the bottom end. So you're near the lower end of the boundary right now for any type of accumulation. Will this gap close right here is the big question that we all have. Will XRP kind of act independently of the rest of the market? Yesterday on my Twitter, I had posted a corrective format that I've seen for these type of gap closures, and we've seen it here in the cryptocurrency market as well. And a lot of new people, when they come into this market, and the first things that they're learning, they love to use trend lines. Trend lines are just the favorite. It's the easiest thing, and they say, you know what, I'm going to sell the trend line, buy the trend line. If it breaks out above the trend line, I'm going to buy it. But a lot of times these trend lines can be misleading, and I don't use them tremendously on this channel for that specific reason, especially in this circumstance. A lot of times what you'll see in these finishing moves is you'll see it come back up to this price level right here, back up to the 50% level, just something like this, and then it'll come down and really shake the market hard to close the gap. So what would happen in that type of circumstance? Well, FOMO buyers would see the break of the trend line, they'd buy the trend line, and then the bulls would get trapped and it would crash down to the ground. We always see people screaming manipulation in those types of circumstances, that this market is manipulated, it's super manipulated, and the reality is just not understanding really how these markets work. The last time we saw huge calls for manipulation were when Bitcoin did an exact retrace to a 702 and then fell on itself, and the screaming of manipulation happened because the excitement happened and people bought at the 702 retracement, and then it fell. So it's normal that we would see some type of correction like this. I hope we don't. My hope is that we actually either one, we just go finish it off right now and let's go. Because once we get down there, I don't think we'll need to come back down there ever again. Or if we do, we need to get above that level right there. We need to get above this 50% retracement area. We need to get above 63 cents and keep on going. I want to see this area taken out. Otherwise, so long as we're in here, this gap is still completely fair game. And then getting above 72 cents is where we can say that this price is moving on and we're done in here. Otherwise, totally normal structure. You have a rise. Let me put these back on here to make it easy. Here we go. We have a rise, crash, retrace above the 618, and then reaccumulation. Just like we saw over here on Bitcoin, you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. So totally normal structure, getting down into the attractive price zone for accumulation. Altcoin market has reached down into the attractive price level for accumulation for me, and Bitcoin is getting incredibly close to that $17,300 level. So this market's getting real close to the end of this thing, in my opinion, and I think we're all welcoming it with open arms for it to finally be getting here. And for me personally, I'm excited to see that it's doing it right now, and that we're not pricing in euphoria for a snapshot, but instead we're probably pricing in some concern. So I like seeing that the prices are not super elevated. I'm hoping that we see the snapshot happen. It's a complete non-event. Nobody cares about it in the long run. And here you go. If you need to pause the screen for a minute right here, you can. This is from @Status on Twitter. He put together a list of the exchanges and wallets that are going to be supporting the snapshot and the airdrop. So right here, the biggest one to come out recently was Coinbase as an exchange. You got Kraken, you got Binance US. A lot of the big names are all in here. Most exchanges are supporting this. And then you do have the wallets over here that will be supporting it as well. So if you need to pause this and figure that out, there you go. I would just make sure that you have your crypto where you need it to be at least, a couple hours before the snapshot takes place. Again, the snapshot's going to take place at midnight, December 12th, UTC time, which is from the time this video is uploaded, like 9 to 10 hours after this video will be uploaded. And that snapshot for the United States people, that's going to be 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. So I will live stream through that. But if you're going to take part in it, you need to get your stuff there plenty ahead of time. I do know that places like Coinbase are going to stop deposits and withdrawals, within 15 minutes of that snapshot. So I don't know if you want to cut to the deadline, but do whatever you want to do. That's what time it's going to happen at. So as we all stare at our watches waiting for that moment to come, let's review what's going on here in crypto right now. XRP is down near the lower boundary of the accumulation range, so we're getting down to the lower half, and that's an attractive area for a lot of people to accumulate at. Bitcoin is getting much closer to reaching down to the target that I've been expecting, which is in the 17,300s. And the total altcoin market cap is down into an attractive range for me as well. So this whole market is looking attractive for a long-term accumulation for me. As for XRP, we'll see what the volatility is going to be like over the next 24 hours, as we still do have our gap down here, which would take it down to about 46 to 47 cents for that gap to get closed. And otherwise, for bullish euphoria to kick in, for me, that doesn't happen until we get above 72 cents. Anything could happen with the price action while we're down here in this lower boundary. We could move all the way back up to the 50% and then close the gap afterwards. So keep your eyes on that. I know a lot of people like to use trend lines, and they will just see that trend line break and then they would get wrong-footed in it. Either way, down here is the attractive area for me, and I look forward to tonight when we live stream through it, and I have my fingers crossed for no volatility. But history shows we usually do. And I think one of the great things about what's happening with the structure of XRP right now, going into this snapshot of being down here on the lower end of the range, is that if you were firing up, the bad news of the snapshot happening would mean that the prices are going to crash afterwards. But with prices being down here at the lower end of the boundary, so long as we go through the snapshot and there's not some type of crazy price action that happens during that snapshot, what would that mean? That would be really, really good news. It would be amazing news to see that there's no crazy price action that takes place around that snapshot time. And well, I think we could all use some good news, and having good news near the lower end of the boundary, bring it. So I'll be here throughout the rest of the day. If we get some crazy price action leading up to it, I might put out another video later this afternoon before we do our live stream. Again, that live stream is going to be at midnight UTC time today, and that's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central, and we'll start it probably 30 minutes prior to that. But otherwise, you could check out my website over here. It's bcbacker.com. I do have my course over here, and it's got 19 videos with 4.5 hours of content going through the previous bull runs that we've had between Bitcoin and the altcoins and how they've all worked together. I outlined what my exit plans are in this market and show you guys a lot of the different tips and tricks that I do for learning how to read these charts. And I do it in a simple and easy to understand way like I do here on my channel. So if you like what you see here on my actual YouTube channel, well, it's the same kind of format stuff in here. It's not like PowerPoints and presentations. It's exactly the same kind of stuff that you see here, trying to explain it in easy to understand ways. So there's a downloadable spreadsheet there. I talk about managing emotions. And like I just said, I go through my exit plans. And you can check that out over here on bcbacker.com. Definitely give me a follow over here on Twitter at bcbacker. I didn't post a video yesterday, but I was keeping people updated over here on my Twitter. So follow me here at Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. It's the day. It's the big day. We've been waiting months for it. Let's get through this event. And oh man, for me, it's just, I'm so excited for it to be over. I cannot wait for it to be over, and let's not have this looming event in front of us. Let's get back to looking at the macro picture and not caring about this specific timed event that's going to occur. So I look forward to it being over. Fingers crossed everything goes smooth, and I'll check you guys later tonight in the live stream. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, these are just my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not investment advice. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.